Hello and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. I am Jitch and you are watching Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Detroit, Michigan, weighing 317 pounds, the European champion, Big Daddy Cool, Diesel.
The big man is back. Diesel finally with a championship after all these years. He is the European champion and man does it look good around the waist of the big man. Diesel's first opponent here tonight as the new European champion is Kofi Kingston, and whilst this is non-title, Kofi will be one of the 5 people challenging for Diesel's European championship at WrestleMania in that 6-man ladder match. And I gotta be honest, this is not a favorable match for Diesel to be defending for the first time in. I don't know. I mean, I guess Diesel could climb a ladder. There's no reason that just because he's so big, like he's still gonna need to climb a ladder, you know. I wonder if he'll be able to overcome some of the smaller, faster, more technical superstars in that match. I definitely think power goes out the window in a ladder match.
And approaching the ring from Ghana, West Africa, weighing 221 pounds, Kofi Kingston.
Well, okay, Kofi Kingston, recently I was talking about how he should step out of his comfort zone. He should go for the United States Championship. Obviously, he came a little short on that, and right now, Cody Rhodes very preoccupied with Randy Orton. I think this is a smart move for Kofi here. It gets him a big mania opportunity. I don't really have a whole lot else to add to that. I just kind of... if the sentence the sentence finished in a way where I felt like I had more to say, but I actually didn't. So, yeah, this is a big opportunity for Kofi. I mean, obviously he didn't choose to be in the ladder match, but, you know, I think he's definitely very happy to be a part of this 6-man ladder match. I can't wait to see how he performs in that match. Of course, you know, people like Bryce Walker and Shawn Michaels also in that match. I believe Daniel Bryan also a part of that match. A lot of former European champions in that match. All people who are synonymous with that title throughout the last year. And of course, it gets a lot of these superstars here on Raw at WrestleMania, which is big. I do feel kind of sorry for anyone who doesn't end up at WrestleMania at this point. Right now, we know from the Raw side of things at WrestleMania that we've got that 6-man ladder match. We've got the United States Championship between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And we've got the WWE Championship on the line between Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho, which brings us to our main event tonight, a big 6-man tag team match that could solidify another match at WrestleMania, because if Jericho's team that he's got here tonight, that he promised us here tonight, can defeat the Shield 3-on-3, something that has never been done before, if they can pull that off here tonight, then Chris Jericho will not only be heading to WrestleMania, but his partners will too, with a tag team title opportunity against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I don't know who the hell is willing to team with Jericho, but he assures us he's got allies here on Monday nights. And I guess we're just going to have to take his word for it for now. I don't think I want to. I've been getting people telling me to play matches more since I stepped in last week. I might do that in 15. But I'm going to be honest with you, I just really don't want to in this game. I don't know. I'm just very fed up with this game, and the gameplay doesn't really do a lot for me. I also just kind of, I tend to find, in my experience, that I get pin spammed normally. And the timing in these games is really awkward. I mean, in 15, it's not much better. I prefer the kick-out system they introduced in 16. 15's isn't really that great, because I think it's pretty much the same as it is in this game. I just think it's a little more achievable, mostly because there is an input lag. But I don't know. I like the pacing of matches in 15 more too, so I'll probably step in a little more when I need to in that. But in this season, I'm probably not going to. Maybe at Mania. Maybe. Occasionally at Mania I'll step in. Kofi coming back here. I also kind of feel like it adds more to the shows. I mean, I'm sick of seeing shit like this happen, but I really think it adds more to the shows, at least for me personally, when I'm actually reacting to things rather than, like, kind of knowing what's going to happen. Like, I'm trying to, like, I don't know, play it off whilst I'm also playing it. It can be a little difficult sometimes, especially if you go to call or, like, do a spot and then they, like, reverse for no good reason. That tends to screw things up quite a bit. That's why, oh, big right hand by Diesel. That's why last week when Randy beat the hell out of Cody, I decided to have the controller have it so that Cody didn't do anything. It's because, oh no. As I was going to say, it's because Cody fought back before and it kind of made it awkward, which is why I ended up retaking that one. Because him fighting back didn't, really makes sense in a way. I felt like Cody being a little like, I don't really want to do this to you, Randy, kind of was more of a thing. And obviously, you know, the shock and the horror of it all. Well, a jackknife has laid out Kofi Kingston, but Diesel is very, very distracted. And there is a man on the outside that is one of the few Raw superstars that is not headed to WrestleMania, at least not at the moment. Hulk Hogan does not have a WrestleMania match. Trouble in Paradise. Even if he helps Kofi win this here tonight, that ain't going to do anything for Hulk Hogan. Other than say that he made Diesel lose, but he definitely didn't just there. Immediate kick out.
And did you hear the impact on that kick?
Sorry, I felt that coming on. Diesel working the arm. And I want to remind you, only 3 more Raws after tonight. The road to WrestleMania is closing in. We would be 27 days away, except we're not. We're 34 days away, but there's a week intermission. Off the ropes with a crossbody. That intermission doesn't mean anything, by the way, if you're hearing that and you're like, oh, you're not going to upload for a week. Well, I mean, I do that all the time. But besides that point, what I actually mean is just that in the statistics going forward, there will be an additional week added to, like, certain reigns, for example. This is just something I do because the in-game calendar is it's shorter than like a real life calendar. It's 48 weeks instead of 52, so there's 4 weeks in a year I have to skip because they just made every month in game 4 weeks long, whereas some aren't. It's weird because they had correct calendars in like GM mode in like SVR 06 to 08. Oh, I thought that was it there. But then when Universe rolled around, they were just like, a month is 4 weeks. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what month it is. A month is 4 weeks. Every month is February. Every month is 28 days. Which is, I mean, it's right once a year. It's just the other 11 months it's completely wrong. I wonder if they ever fixed that. I've never touched Universe in like 22 onwards. So I don't know if they actually use like real calendars these days or what. Probably not though, if I had to guess. And Kofi Kingston with the Season 4 special, tapping out to a submission hold. Did he say a horrible win by Diesel? Did I hear that right? I guess. Like in the sense of like, oh, poor Kofi. A horrible win. That's a new one. I don't think I've heard that before.
I can guarantee this match will be discussed heavily on WWE.com.
I imagine it would be. Go to WWE.com and be like, where is the footage of Diesel versus Kofi? Go in the comment section and be like, where is it? I don't see it anywhere. Diesel versus Kofi. Where is it? Well, anyway, moving on. Last week he had a heinous, disgusting, sickening attack on Cody Rhodes. And tonight he sets foot in the ring with Antonio Cesaro. Randy Orton is a dangerous man, unhinged, and I feel sorry for what Cesaro is probably about to endure.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Switzerland, weighing 232 pounds, Antonio Cesaro.
Well, this ought to be very interesting. This is Randy Orton's first appearance since he beat the hell out of Cody Rhodes last week on Raw. One of the most shocking, well, I mean, I want to say one of the most shocking betrayals, but honestly, when it comes to Randy Orton, I don't know how well you could ever really trust that guy. But Randy Orton, I guess enough was enough. Randy Orton said that he took a look at the situation that was going on when he came up short in King of the Ring, and it made him sick to his stomach that a loser like Cody Rhodes, someone who lived in his shadow, was going to WrestleMania as a champion, whilst Randy had nothing. And Randy says the last time these two stepped foot in the ring for Cody's US Championship, as a matter of fact, that's when Cody's reign came to an end. But it was neither Randy or Cody that left with the US Championship, and he wants to make that right.
And approaching the ring from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing 245 pounds, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton.
Obviously, Ted DiBiase Jr. is no longer here in the WWE, so he's out of the picture. It is a straight-up one-on-one this time. Then, if you don't remember, back at SummerSlam 2010, I think it was the first SummerSlam we had, the main event was the Legacy imploding. It was a triple threat for Cody's United States Championship. And as I mentioned before, Ted won the match. Cody nor Randy ended up leaving with the championship. Randy says that is his greatest failure. The fact that he lost to a student, somebody who was beneath him. And it's time that he got the Randy Orton that won back on top. So Orton comes out tonight a very different man to the guy everyone was rooting for in the King of the Ring tournament. I mean, it was such a huge moment when he defeated The Rock. And I feel like realistically, you know, he should be taking his frustrations out on Diesel, not his own friend, Cody Rhodes. As this one gets underway, I gotta say, I hope Cesaro's ready for what is coming his way. Oh my god! Oh my god! Well, Randy Orton really making sure. Oh no. And this is exactly what I was expecting out of Randy. I was saying, you know, we saw how unhinged he is last week when he absolutely beat the hell out of Cody Rhodes. This is a very envious man right now. I mean, Cody is, you know, he's closing in on history. If he can carry on holding that United States Championship through WrestleMania, he may very well make it to SummerSlam, where he will then beat Drew McIntyre's record for sure as the longest reigning United States Champion. Randy Orton wants to make sure that doesn't happen. He wants to make sure that Cody Rhodes is forgotten, that he is nothing and nobody. An RKO out of nowhere to start things off, and Randy didn't even go for the cover off of it. I give credit to Cesaro for trying to fight back here, and Orton not looking to get the victory. Don't know why he keeps doing that. This isn't about winning right now. It's very clear this is not about trying to get the 1, 2, 3. I don't know why he keeps doing that, because it's not what he wants to do.
You're tuned into Monday Night Raw, live and in high definition.
Cesaro finding some fight in him. I mean, you got to think Cesaro, right? I know, obviously, he's not been doing too great for himself lately, but this is the man that won the Royal Rumble last year. This is the man that was headed to WrestleMania with a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity this time last year. And I don't like where this is going. I do not one bit do I like what Randy Orton is cooking up here. Are we going to see history repeat itself? Exactly what he did to Cody Rhodes last week here on Raw. Oh my God, he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. Randy with a second RKO to Antonio Cesaro. And he is back in the ring for a count. Oh, Randy resetting the count. He is making an example out of Antonio Cesaro right now. I don't know how he keeps fighting back. I guess shitty AI would be the reason for that. And Cesaro. That's a very questionable move, Cesaro. Antonio Cesaro somehow having a comeback. And Orton with an immediate kick out.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical. He's in a world of trouble. Much more
This is an off the ropes. Oh no. Randy, come on. I hate seeing this move back in his repertoire, but Randy Orton has become unhinged. And a punt kick across the face of Antonio Cesaro. That's gotta be it. There was never a chance. Randy Orton came in hot tonight. He came in motivated. He came in more vicious than we have seen him.
Here is your winner, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton.
It's definitely been some time since we've seen this version of Randy Orton, but the most lethal version of this man seems to be back in business. And not only did he make an example out of Cody Rhodes last week, but he made an example out of Antonio Cesaro tonight. Cody Rhodes is going to have to fight with all his heart if he plans to make it through. The man that brought him up in this business and retain his United States Championship in what is absolutely worthy of the WrestleMania spotlight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, from New York, Bryce Walker.
Well, in his rookie year, Bryce Walker is a former European champion, and he could be a two-time European champion to close out the debut season for this young man. Bryce Walker sets foot inside a six-man ladder match in which every superstar, barring his opponent tonight, has held the European Championship. Shawn Michaels really is the odd one out in this situation, which is kind of unusual, but you know, he just hasn't set his sights on that title.
And approaching the ring, from San Antonio, Texas, weighing 227 pounds, the Heartbreaking Shawn Michaels.
And, you know, I guess it's only fitting, really, that at WrestleMania this year, Bryce Walker and Daniel Bryan will be setting foot into yet another match against each other, and it's for the European Championship. That is what their team fell apart over. That is what Bryce Walker ended up taking away. I get it. I get how this has a lot of history. Obviously, you have a look at this six-man ladder match, and yeah, Kofi Kingston, former holder, he's the one that unified the European and Cruiserweight Championships. Shawn Michaels, of course, has a lot of history with Diesel in this matchup. Diesel freshly having won the championship. Randy Savage, the former champion, he has got association with Michaels as well in the past as a tag team partner back at, I think it was SummerSlam, might have been after that. And then Bryce Walker and Daniel Bryan, very heated rivalry between them. All these things kind of interconnected and lining up in this big six-man ladder match at WrestleMania. And I'll tell you, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Obviously, if Michaels ends up beating Diesel for the European Championship. I spoke about this a while back. For those that don't maybe remember, maybe you're new here, whatever your reason may be. Back when Diesel, as Kevin Nash, turned his back on Shawn Michaels, It was actually Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan, if you look back historically, that were always the ones with the issue with Michaels. There was actually points where Nash was causing a little bit of a rift amongst the group because there was some reluctance in what they were doing to Michaels. He didn't seem like he wanted to really turn against this guy. They're pretty tight. I mean, I don't know where they stand these days. Obviously, they've not worked together since, and they've not really crossed paths since. Diesel's only just recently come back after being fired back in November. So now we await what will happen inside that six-man ladder match. Maybe they'll have a reunion. Maybe they'll become bitter enemies. It's hard to say when a championship is involved and you got two guys across the ring from each other that both need that win. I mentioned before, Michaels has never really set his sights on the United States, Intercontinental, European Hardcore, or anything other than the WWE Championship. I don't even think he's ever been on the same brand as the World Heavyweight Championship, for that matter. Because I believe when he was on SmackDown in Season 2, the WWE Championship was also on SmackDown. This is a very important opportunity here tonight for Bryce Walker. Though you may not think it, obviously Shawn Michaels is a veteran. This is the kind of guy that Walker had an issue with. I don't know if that's still necessarily the way he carries himself. I don't really know what's going on in Walker's mind these days. But this ought to be an interesting match for Walker here tonight. Win or lose, he gets to say he competed in a match against Shawn Michaels, one of the all-time greats. Speaking of all-time greats, everybody's favorite friendship between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Mick Foley. We have an interesting situation regarding that up next, as Stone Cold Steve Austin says he's ready to embrace Mick Foley's friendship, and he's going to do that up next. I don't know what the hell that means, but Austin has promised us that he is ready for Foley here tonight. Austin had some very harsh words for Chris Jericho, who used Austin's theme as a distraction to Dean Ambrose and Antonio Cesaro to then attack him. I think Ambrose felt like he was going to get confronted by Stone Cold Steve Austin after having won his championship, but instead there was an attack from Chris Jericho. And I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure what possessed Chris Jericho to utilize that, knowing that that was clearly going to piss Austin off, and that is not someone you want to get on the bad side of. Austin says that he's going to be dealing with that later on, but that it has been noted, and Chris Jericho better count his days. And I believe we got deadlock. It's locked in. Oh, I thought he actually made him tap. I was going to say, what a huge win. Elbow by Shawn Michaels. Oh no, super kick. Oh boy. That might be it. Bryce Walker pulled away from the ropes by Shawn Michaels. Sweet chin. No! Sorry, sweet chin music's when he tunes it up. That's the way I always understood it, right? It's a super kick if he does it out of the blue. It's sweet chin music if he tunes up the band in the corner before he does it. And I don't think the AI is ever going to make him do the corner one, because it hasn't all season. So, I don't think it's going to suddenly do that now. Michaels is honestly someone who this past year, I feel like he's kind of teeter-tottered between having a bit of momentum in his favor and going, maybe just shooting a little too close to the sun, so to speak. Like, I feel like he's set his sights on the WWE Championship one too many times in a sense. Obviously, I understand that that's the top prize, that's what everybody's here for, but this is what I'm saying. It's like, the United States Championship is still a very prestigious prize. I would honestly say, recently, with the fact that Cody Rhodes has held it since SummerSlam for so long with multiple successful defenses, that is actually perhaps the top prize right now on Raw in some people's perspective, because to be able to say you beat the unbeatable is a big, big deal. And Shawn Michaels is going to say, this is my sharpshooter. I think I like Bryce a little more, to be honest. He's got him locked in. Walker is very slowly crawling on the ropes. That was one of my favorite things to do. A super kick once again by Shawn Michaels That's lights out, I'm afraid. Bryce Walker, thanks for coming. At least you got to do deadlock, but it's over. Shawn Michaels picking up a win here tonight. And it's going to really matter on the road to that European title match.
Here is your winner, the Heartbreaking Shawn Michaels.
What an incredible match.
Well, congratulations, Shawn Michaels, on this victory here tonight. What a win. Shawn Michaels, everybody, headed to WrestleMania where he will challenge for the European Championship. As we move on, up next, Stone Cold Steve Austin is set to embrace the friendship of Mick Foley.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, from Nantucket, Long Island, New York, weighing 287 pounds, Mick Foley.
Well, I don't know what Mick Foley's expecting here tonight, but Austin says he is ready to embrace the friendship of Mick Foley. Foley, who was focused for so long on getting the WWE Championship away from Austin, getting his focus away from the WWE Championship, and these two should be tag team partners. They should be tag team champions. They should be the ones challenging the Shield at WrestleMania. That is what Mick Foley insists. Here he comes. And I mean, if I know Austin like I think I do, I don't think this is a good idea, Foley. I don't think you should be doing this at all.
Texas, weighing 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Austin storming down to the ring. And remember, the last time we saw this guy, he was holding the WWE Championship. I thought Austin was destined for WrestleMania. I kind of had in my mind that Rock was going to win the King of the Ring tournament, Austin was going to win the Elimination Chamber, and we were going to get a, you know, some kind of twist of fate where it was Austin as the champ and Rock as the challenger, since that was a match that stole the show 2 times this season, and both times The Rock came out on top. Austin staring daggers into Mick Foley there. So what is this all about? What exactly is Austin planning on doing here? I mean, I have a hunch, but I guess we'll see. Yep, that's exactly what I was expecting. Austin, when he said he was embracing Foley, I think what he meant to say was he was about to ship his ass out of Monday nights. Stone Cold Steve Austin is ready to stomp a mud hole in Mick Foley. You know, I've been wondering what exactly WrestleMania awaits for Stone Cold Steve Austin. I might have to wait much longer. Austin with a mean streak on him, and Foley not getting any offense in so far. I don't know if Foley realizes the bell rung. This is a official match here on Monday nights, and as I mentioned before, this is just about exactly what I was expecting out of Austin here tonight, was him just beating the hell out of the man. I mean, Mick Foley literally went into the Elimination Chamber with the hopes that Austin, his so-called buddy, his friend, his soulmate, his perfect partner, was going to lose his WWE Championship. That is what Mick Foley was rooting for in the Elimination Chamber, because he feels the championship has been coming between their perfect friendship. Now, I want to remind you, this tag team was formed off the back of Mick Foley kind of losing ECW and in turn losing Stone Cold Steve Austin as World Heavyweight Champion. And Austin obviously blamed Foley for the end of ECW, for him, you know, no longer being recognized as ECW World Champ and everything that went with it. And, I mean, listen, I get it. I get where Austin's coming from. These two were forced to team up. Austin rolled with it for a bit. They had a little bit of a run as a tag team. They looked like they were potentially going to win the tag titles from the NWO at one point, I'd say, but they didn't. And then from there on out, it just seems like it was just Foley, this one-sided, hey, we're friends still, we're buddies. I don't think Austin ever actually thought that. I think he was, you know, he was given a championship opportunity. He said, all right, fine, I'll take it. And it didn't work out in his favor, so he moved on from it. Whereas Foley, I guess he didn't have many friends. I don't know. He really seems to be very insistent that Austin and him are the perfect match. And it seems like now Foley's realized what's happening here. And I tell you, this could be an interesting matchup.
Boy, did he get dropped or what? And that one hurt his hand.
Foley dropped down. Austin with the elbow. And Austin making very light work of Foley in his mind, saying this one's done. And it is not. Oh my God. That clothesline was brutal.
This is Mick Foley we're talking about here. If you're just tuning in, Michael Cole.
Austin just, oh my God, just brutalizing Foley
This amazing sold-out event.
as best as he can.
He was able to reverse that. And now the toll of this.
And a stunner straight to Mick Foley. Sent him flying with that one. Cover attempt here on Foley. And Austin, I guess you could say, just took out the trash. I love Mick Foley. I think he's a great superstar. But Austin wanted to say, no more. Why is Mark Henry on Raw? Why would you do this? I don't understand. Maybe he didn't, dude. You've got to be kidding me.
The following six-man contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, from Hollywood, Florida, weighing 223 pounds, Dolph Ziggler.
Well, I guess it's safe to say we found out who is willing to team with Chris Jericho, and I don't think this has got anything to do with them seeing eye to eye or being on the same page. This is to do with the fact that, as I mentioned last week on Raw, WrestleMania is right around the corner. The Miz and Ziggler are the only team to have ever defeated Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Admittedly, it was done with Rollins removed from the match. But Dolph Ziggler and the Miz have evidently decided that they also want to take down the Shield, and that is what they're really focused on right now in this six-man tag team main event. I guess it makes some sense. Right now on Raw, there isn't any other tag teams I could see being at the very top, being ready to challenge for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Sure, why not these guys? But, well, first of all, they're going to have to win. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off. We'll see, I suppose. I mean, I would say this. Jericho's in good company tonight.
From Cleveland, Ohio, weighing 231 pounds, The Miz.
I may not love the idea of Ziggler and Miz aligning with Chris Jericho tonight, but I can understand where they're coming from, and I can say that these are two top-tier Raw superstars you definitely want to be on the good books of. And of course, for those of you that don't know, the very tag team championship that the Miz, the Miz is pursuing right now, he was actually the first ever holder of the WWE Tag Team Championship, and his partner was Chris Jericho. Miz and Jericho were the first ever holders of the championship that Rollins and Reigns are currently holding. So I guess there was an alliance. I believe it was Miz actually that replaced Jericho with Big Show, and it's funny they've both teamed with Big Show, but well, Jericho now officially a part of Monday Night Raw. This is his first match here on Raw. I don't know if Jericho has ever been on Raw before. I think this might be a first here tonight. Yeah, I think this is the first time Jericho has ever been a member of the Raw roster.
And their partner, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing 231 pounds, Chris Jericho.
Well, it may be very short-lived because obviously the draft is just around the corner, and champions are eligible for the draft, as we've seen over the years. They've changed places quite a lot of times, so it is possible. That man made his decision last week when he not only attacked Ambrose and Cesaro mid-match to let it be known that he had decided to come to Raw for the WWE Championship, but he put on Dean Ambrose's WWE Championship. He was wearing the WWE title. And as I said last week, I hope that is the only time we ever see that championship around the waist of this absolute piece of trash. I hate this man. Well, he's about to find out that justice is a dish served cold. Here they come. Their first ever entrance, all as champs. I think it'd make more sense for Ambrose to come from that side, you know?
At a total combined weight of 699 pounds, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, The Shield.
What this terrible, terrible ring announcer forgets to mention is that is the WWE champion as well. And what a sight to behold. These guys running Monday nights. Considering this is their debut season, they have made a huge impression. That could be very short-lived though, and I guess we'll find out. 30 minutes on the clock, of course, for a 6-man tag team match. Got to make sure there's plenty of time, as these matches can go pretty long. Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose starting things off here tonight. Not surprised that Chris Jericho didn't have the audacity to set foot in the ring with Ambrose to start things off. I wonder if we'll see any kind of collision between the two that will face off at WrestleMania in this matchup. Dean Ambrose with a big right hand to the face of Dolph Ziggler, and Rollins disappeared from ringside once again. This will be the second time in a tag team match Rollins has disappeared if he does, so I'm glad that he came back. Last time we found out that it was Mick Foley continuing to help. I can't really remember the exact reason for it anymore, but it was to do with Austin as always. I hear that Mick Foley is very heartbroken backstage right now after what Austin did to him. He said in an interview that he was only trying to defend himself once Austin begun laying his hands on him, but that he cannot believe that what happened between them just happened between them. Snapmare by Roman Reigns. I'll tell you, this, I mentioned before, this one is gonna go long. Brace yourselves. 6-man tag? Oh, you know this is going long. But I'd be very interested to find out if this is the first time the Shield as a unit suffer a loss or not. I mean, they've definitely done very well for themselves. I mentioned this before, this season. I feel like Raw very slowly and subtly has revolved around these three. I feel like it has, it's been kind of slowly cooking up, you know. It wasn't an overnight sensation. It was week after week we saw these guys just very, very subtly and progressively getting that little bit closer to the top. And obviously that collision with the NWO, Shawn Michaels handing Reigns and Rollins his tag title opportunity, that ended up paying off big. They won those tag team championships. They've been holding them for quite a long time now. And I believe they just recently, actually, as a matter of fact, became the second longest reigning WWE Tag Team Champions. Let me fact check that real quick. But I'm pretty sure they are, they're up there, I'm pretty sure. Today would be day 119 as WWE Tag Team Champions. They've passed, some historical reigns that they've passed include the NWO's 106-day reign, Yokozuna Tensai's 77-day reign, Edge and Christian's second reign as tag team champions, which was 105 days, and of course, as much as I give it credit, Miz and Morrison's tag team title reign was actually only 84 days. But the only title reign left for them to beat as a record is Edge and Christian's first reign, which was 182 days. They held it from WrestleMania 2 right through to Hell in a Cell. That was April to October. I don't know if they'll be able to pull that one off, truth be told. But we'll see. I'm not doubting the Shield. I mean, you got to believe in the Shield, right? You got to believe in the Shield. 119 days as WWE Tag Team Champions. Obviously, it's done in 7-day increments on the wiki, so they're pretty much locked in for 126. And I don't imagine they'll be defending before WrestleMania, so that's another, like, 28 days from Sunday that you could then add onto it as well. So going into WrestleMania, they'll already be at, like, 154 days. They'll be very close to the record of Edge and Christian. As a matter of fact, I believe just one more month as tag champs, and they will have surpassed them. So if they make it through WrestleMania, I'd say Rollins and Reigns may very well be on the way to be, well, they will be on their way to becoming the longest reigning tag team champions. It's all about if they can make it through WrestleMania. Right now, they don't have contenders. I feel Ziggler and Miz are the natural challengers for the tag team titles right now. I don't know who else could step into the ring against the Shield and really give them a run for their money. Well, Seth Rollins has, he's Rollinsing right now. Ooh, big takedown there. Dean Ambrose gets Jericho right where he wants him. And this is our WrestleMania preview happening in the ring as we speak. I gotta say, Ambrose and Jericho, definitely a very unusual match at WrestleMania. Obviously, a lot of WrestleMania matches are generally a little more grounded. I feel like I mentioned, well, I didn't mention this. I was thinking about this the other day. It's there seems to always be one Mania match that's a little bit more on the fly and doesn't necessarily have as much backing behind it. Ziggler tagged himself in, and Jericho didn't like that too much. Yeah, there's always one match that seems to be a little bit off. Like the 4-way at Mania 1 was a little bit odd, whereas Undertaker and Orton had a lot of history going into that in the short period of time there was. WrestleMania 2, obviously. Ooh, jumping DDT there by Dolph Ziggler. Out of the ring, knocked down goes Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins, I don't really know what Seth Rollins is doing. DDT not enough to put Ambrose away, of course. Yeah, but I wanted to kind of reflect on these real quick. WrestleMania 2, I believe we had Lesnar and Batista had a lot of build to that, whereas Undertaker and Cena was a little bit more just kind of happened, you know. It kind of ended up making sense in the moment, but like the build up for it wasn't much. And I think last year, obviously JBL and The Rock was massive. It had a lot of build to it, whereas Cesaro and Triple H was a little bit less. I think it's just basically the same fate here tonight with Jericho and Ambrose. Sometimes it just happens, you know. You get a match that maybe isn't the most built, but I mean, I think it will deliver. I think Ambrose and Jericho, as much as I hate Jericho so very much, I must admit I feel like that'll be a great match. I hate Jericho, but he's a great performer. Does that make sense? I hate him very much, but he's very good at what he does. I just hope he's not still doing it 10 years from the year 2013, because I feel like he would be very sad to watch and put himself over a lot of young people. How long is Seth gonna do that for, I wonder? Perhaps the rest of the match. Jericho calling for a code breaker, potentially. No. Okay, he had to run into it, that's why. Code breaker on Dean Ambrose, drops him. Reigns taken out of the equation, I believe. Rollins, I don't know what's going on with him. I guess he's drugged. And the code breaker almost got the 3. Reigns able to make it back in time to save his partner. But Miz and Jericho, with their history, working together smoothly here. There you go. Rollins, welcome back. Uh-oh. Dean Ambrose has been in that ring for a long time, and in comes the big dog, Roman Reigns. He's in. It's time to say, ooh-ah. Drop kick to the back. I think he actually ooh-ahs in 2K15 before that. Spear! Spear by Roman Reigns, but Ambrose went flying over the ropes with the Miz. Cover attempt here on Ziggler and Jericho. Very quick to get in the ring, although I believe Ziggler kicked out there on his own accord. And that's the second time Ziggler and Jericho have kind of butted heads there, as Ziggler accidentally struck Jericho. Maybe these guys don't exactly see eye to eye. I mean, obviously I know Miz and Jericho, they've got their history, but I also know that they, well, it didn't last. In fact, the first ever WrestleMania, I believe that's when Jericho and Miz ended up facing off for those tag titles. I want to say. Could be wrong about that, but I think that might be right. It was Jericho and Edge up against Jericho and Edge up against Showmiz. I want to say Showmiz won. Jericho took his ball and went home. And now Dolph Ziggler is filling in the Seth Rollins role. This game is so bad. These games are just so buggy. There shouldn't be a glitch in every game that is like notable and consistent. Shame the only patches they ever released were to get people to buy DLC, and then they just stopped supporting the game entirely. Pick to the midsection by The Miz. What's he going for here? Neck breaker. I'm going to be honest, I thought that was the animation that was going to lead to a reversal. There was something about how slow and weird that looked that made me think that's a reversal animation. So I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't. Neck breaker into a cover on the 2. And Miz with a big neck breaker to Roman Reigns. This could be huge. Miz and Ziggler doing everything they can to get a win here tonight over the Shield. And he drives Roman's face into the mat. Will it be enough? The Shield knocked off the apron. Miz into the cover on Roman Reigns. Dean Ambrose is in, but it is just in time. Okay, I thought it may have been too late. Jericho getting in the way of the Miz here, though. That's what I mean. There isn't a lot of communication between these three. They are not a unit like the Shield. The Shield are their own damn thing. You can't top the Shield. Diving spear. I think that was actually more of a clothesline. It looked like a spear, sort of, though. If you squint your eyes very carefully, that was a spear. What do I have to do to get the win here? Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho in the ring now. Jericho coming off the ropes. Like he was looking for a springboard DDT. Didn't manage to catch it. Oh no! Code breaker to Seth Rollins. Cover attempt here. Roman Reigns. And he just about manages to save it. I want to remind you, the only time the Shield have ever lost as a team in any match was a match where Rollins was removed from the match. It was technically 2-on-1, but the loss still counted as a team. Otherwise, whenever they have been all present in the ring, they have never lost. Jericho goes for a crossbody and completely misses. Classic. I thought Seth was going to be like, this is how you do it. For a minute there. Kick to the midsection and now into the Shield's corner. A very interesting choice by Jericho. I don't know what the hell he's thinking there. It's not every week you see the Shield working as an entire group in a tag team matchup. 6-man tags are kind of a dime a dozen, as they say. It's not a very common thing. German suplex. Flipped him all the way around on that one. Rollins with a lot of fight in him. I'm glad to see that Rollins' reputation he'd built a while back after losing in the being eliminated from the Survivor Series match. He didn't lose, but he was eliminated. He was the only member eliminated. I'm really glad to see that's turned around here. Big right hand. Oh, dropped onto the knee. Oh my God. Roman. Oh, great tag team move by the Shield. I'm surprised Roman didn't go for a cover as he drops Dolph Ziggler off the apron. Roman, you might want to focus on the legal man. I know he's had his issues with Ziggler and The Miz, but There's no reason to completely ignore the fact that Jericho was right there ready for a pin. Striking down the head of Jericho as he goes. Not for the cover, instead Roman Reigns. Samoan drop. Yep, Samoan drop. Slamming the arm down. Roman Reigns now pulling Jericho away from the ropes and into the cover. And only a 2. Big shoulder tackle takes down Jericho. Roman Reigns now once again in control. I mentioned this match was going to go long. And that's the finish. Nope. Okay, I thought for sure that was about to be the finish. Oh! Good teamwork by Jericho and The Miz there as Jericho makes the hot tag. Ziggler is in. Oh my God, he actually connected. No way. Oh my, no, never mind. Well, he tried. He got farther than most.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
This tag team work continues here in the Shield, really trying to keep their perfect reputation intact. They are the top dogs of Monday Night, possessor of the WWE and WWE Tag Team Championships. Dolph going to the cover off the Famous, or is it going to be enough to get the job done? Almost! Almost! And can you imagine if Dolph got a pin on the WWE Champion? He'd never shut up about it. Roll up, attempt it. Nope. Leg sweep down goes Ambrose. Dolph Ziggler taking Ambrose to the middle of the ring. He's wasting no time going in for these pin attempts at this point. He realizes Dean Ambrose is taking a lot of punishment. It's not going to take all too much to finish him off, and he knows it. That's the finish right there. No, it isn't. Okay, nice. Well, it could have been. I wouldn't have been happy if it was. A Season 4 submission finish is the way that the Shield's undefeated streak as a trio would end, for sure. Reigns into the cover on Ziggler and only a 2. Okay, it's been a very long time since we've seen a finisher in this match. I thought we were about to see one there. Was that the Superman punch? Didn't look very Superman punch-esque, but I think it was. And the referee could not count that one. There was just too much going on. I think it was supposed to be a Superman punch, but that didn't look right at all. Cover attempt here on Reigns. And this match is really broken down. There are just bodies everywhere. I can't keep up myself. Reigns striking away at Dolph Ziggler as he launches him across the ring. And I don't think Reigns knows how to do a spear. I think he forgot. Bouncing off the ropes. Nope. Hits the referee, and the tag made to Seth Rollins. And yeah, I was expecting that. I think we were all expecting that. Dolph now going for that jawbreaker. Gets it. Oh, nice reversal there by Seth Rollins. And Rollins in control. Goes for the sliced bread on Ziggler, and he gets him. Covers him. Dolph Ziggler's shoulders are down. Seth Rollins gets the win. The Shield are victorious. Ambrose celebrating the victory. Austin, what the hell? Whoa! Austin! Attacking both Jericho and Ambrose. And going straight for the WWE champion. Austin, what the hell are you doing? Where the hell did this come from?